Why, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your host and guide, Zollin Ironshield, and today I want to talk about Fellowship Maneuvers. And I know Fellowship Maneuvers really are only scale up to level 50 right now, but they still can be helpful a little above that for the heal, right? But I would love it. Standing Stones, if you would update Fellowship Maneuvers to be scaled all the way up to max level right now, I'd be stoked, or add a little additional stuff. But for people who still want to know what they are, and they're a very cool thing about LOTRO, let's talk about them right now. Again, if you do enjoy this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's go straight into it. I have two characters here that I'm playing at once here. We've got my other account that I don't play very much, but we have Zollin from the other account, and my burglar here, Zilix. So let's test them out and talk about them real quick. So a Fellowship Maneuver is an ability that happens, and it'll appear on the screen. It'll look like this. I'm going to use it on this training dummy, okay? So I have an ability that can trigger one, all right? So if I trigger it on it, oh, and I forgot this thing is immune to the, we're gonna have to teleport real quick. Baruch Kazad. All right, so we're gonna have a target here we can actually use the Fellowship Maneuver on. I forgot those things were immune to any kind of CC abilities. So we'll use it on this little bog lurker right here. All right, so I shouldn't kill him when I cast it. All right, so again, a Fellowship Maneuver is an ability that usually happens on a critical strike, of an extreme critical strike. There are certain abilities that can have a much higher chance of happening. For example, Return of the King on a Guardian actually has a very high chance of opening one, and there's certain other abilities. But some abilities, like Burglars, are the ones that were originally designed around this thing of a Fellowship Maneuver. Fellowship Maneuver, there are 4 colors you can use. I'll explain them all in a moment here. And it activates, and you're able to use it on these targets. Okay, so let me show you what it kind of looks like. So, little stinker, get back here. All right, there it is. So it's this panel that shows up. The top ones are grayed out because you actually have to be in range to cast it. And this guy is being a sneaky sneak, so come here. All right, we're gonna bring him out here a little bit. But it's pretty cool. We're gonna grab a different target to use here on this Fellowship Maneuver. We'll use this guy over here. So basically, green is a heal. Blue is your mana or power. In this game, it's called power, right? In Lord of the Rings Online. Yellow is an overtime bleed, and red is a just flat, heavy amount of damage. At level 50, it's extremely powerful. Used to be used all the time when the game first came out, but it's still really good to kind of know if you're a new player how to use, okay? Because a lot of players I've noticed when I'm doing epic battles, a lot of people don't know how to use it, okay? There's also some cool things you can do as a leader with it, okay? There's combinations. Where do you find the combinations, okay? So you can do all blue, and it'll give everyone a lot more mana than regular. If you do all green, you'll get an overtime heal. If you do all red, it'll do a lot more damage. And if you do all yellow, it'll do much bigger bleeds or DOT dots to the enemy it's being used on, okay? So basically, if you... Oh, and I just got to insert this in real quick somewhere in the video. Don't forget, don't kill the target before you finish the Fellowship Maneuver. If one of your Fellowship members kills the target, even if all 3 of you already done the combo, and it doesn't do the animation and actually give you the heal, if the target dies, it'll just cancel and you won't get anything from it. So, very important. Don't kill the target that you're Fellowship Maneuvering, okay? Alright, you saw it with my burglar. They killed it before we finished. I wasn't able to show you, so. Even if you've already done the click and animation, you have to let it go off and the animation heal, or you just won't get it. So, side note, I'm gonna continue on. Go into your skills, so you can find skills with the command. You can either go into character, and then, or you just click K on your keyboard and it'll bring up your skills. And if you go here, it says Fellowship, okay? If you're ever wondering why does it say Fellowship inside the skills tab, this is what it's talking about, okay? So you can actually look through here. It's a little bit, it's a little small. I don't think I can blow this tab up for you more than this. But if you open these up, you can actually see there's combinations for different sizes of fellowships. So if you're a 4-man fellowship, there's actually different combos you can do, all right? Fellow 1, Fellow 2, you can do different combinations, and it's really cool. And here's the best part. You can put this little thing here. If you're the leader of the group, you can put this up. So let's say you want your team to do planned charge, right? And again, it depends on how many people you have to use it, but that's up to you. So you click it, and you see right here, look, we only have 2 people that can do it. It's showing. So we can really only do the double red combo of it. Let me make it where you can, it's being blocked by my camera. Put it right here. All right, so I'll turn it on again there. You can see it right there. See, so that just shows up. So what happens is that'll actually show as you guys are using the Fellowship Maneuver who clicked what. All right, it kind of helps guide as you do a Fellowship Maneuver. So, and again, you remember the little Fellowship Maneuver panel will show up with all the colors. Okay, so I'm going to test it again, and me and Zollin are going to do this combo. Now it's very simple. This is a double red. So let's say a little bit more complicated one. Okay, I'm going to put on. I want us to be able to use this combo. So that if it was for a group of 3, we only, as you can see, there's only 2 dots because there's only 2 of us in the fellowship. But if we were a group of 3, we could do this: blue, red, green, and it would do a combo. And it says that you two fellows crush the target while invigorating and energizing your fellowship members. So what happens is it's going to do high damage, and I believe it'll give everyone kind of a little heal with that combo instead of just doing 2 greens. But of course, I could also just do 2 greens, right? But if I wanted to, so for example, I'm going to use the fellowship maneuver. This is going to pop up, so I want to use blue. And Zollin, you need to target the target, and he's going to use red. I wasn't fast enough because I'm trying to play 2 characters at once. But that's the kind of thing you're going to be using it for. Again, it does matter who clicks what. If you all click blue, it's not you can all still use blue. It'll do a different combination. That little assist thing that's showing up, right? Again, as you can see right here, the little assist thing. Woo, this little thing. That's just there to help you figure it out which one you're using. It'll actually show when you're actually using the ability, as you saw, which one everyone's clicking to. And you can stop, you can move and undo it. Now, the important things about using it that a lot of people I've noticed didn't know how, that are new players as well, to use, is that you need to be targeted on the target. All right, so you need to have it selected. Either you can select an enemy target with tab, which is a real nice one, right? I can just tab to select the target right there that's closest. You need to be selected, and you need to be looking at the target. You can't cast the ability if you're looking away, if your character's looking away. Not your screen, your character. Okay, that's important. That's really important for fellowship maneuvers. Okay, guys, if your character is looking the opposite way, but you turn your camera around and you click it and you try to use that on little circles, it's not gonna work. It won't work. You'll be like, oh man, why isn't it working? And that's because your character needs to be actually aimed at the target, looking at the circle of the target, okay? So that's what that's really matters. But now let's say we want to use a heal, right? Burglars were really good for this back in the day. So let's say I wanted to use a heal on the target, right? We're like, oh, we're dying, let's say we're level 30s, right, or something. Or in this case, my burglar is almost on level, he's level 49, so it would still work really good for him. It skills up to level 50 really well, and it still helps the heal later on if you need a heal, right? It's still powerful up to like almost 100, it's still helpful. So let's go ahead and use this. We got 10 seconds on the cooldown here, and I will try to use a heal combo. So a heal combo, even without using that thing, is basically just double green, okay? There are abilities too, by the way. If you look at here, I have a sigil. As a burglar, you can use these sigils. Sigil, see that right there? And it says, other members of the fellowship temporarily share your bonus to conviction fellowship skills. 15% fellowship maneuver morale heal multiplier from conviction. So again, conviction is the green one, right? So they all have kind of a name. So let me aim at this target. All right, let's see. Does that cat in this lynx has a little bit more health. Let's use the lynx. All right, so I'm gonna stare at the lynx with that character. It's a little easier for me. And then fellowship maneuvers, I want my characters to both use heal together. So I'm gonna say, let's use rally. Right? And look at that. Rally is a 2 fellowship thing. So even if you have 4 people in the fellowship or 6 people, it doesn't matter. You can use the double heal. And you can even add more greens on there, and it won't really do much. It'll just add a little bit more to the heal. All right? So I'm gonna use the ability here. It's gonna pop up. I'm gonna green. The other character, I'm gonna look, aim, and click green. And now you can see they're both green, and boom. See, we got a heal from it. And now we're healing over time. We have this heal buff on our bar right here. The morale buff, okay? So again, very useful, very helpful. All right, it can be very powerful. Burglars have other ways to open fellowship maneuvers too. This one's just the most easy for the video for me to just click and it opens it. It's 5 seconds done, instantly causes, and it says starts fellowship maneuver in the thing. So it's always called a fellowship maneuver. And the different abilities are called the different names. So we have Spider's Guild, Eagle's Cry, right? These are different abilities. And you can see you can hover them. Stallion's Spirit, Eagle's Cry. This fellowship skill inspires. So basically, it's telling different things. So melee, by the way, some of them you have to be in melee range to use. All right, depending on your class. I believe you do have to be in melee range as a melee for a red one. And I will test it for you right here in a few seconds. I will show you here. So, but I believe, so I'm gonna do a double yellow. All right, and I'm going to be ranged with my hunter. And I'm going to see if he can cast the yellow one from range, and I want to see if the burglar can cast it from range, okay? So we'll test it as fast as I can. You're gonna have to keep your eyes peeled because I'm gonna have to do this all in the matter of the 5 seconds the Fellowship Maneuver is up, right? So we have 5 seconds, which isn't a whole lot of time, right? So these were challenging back in the day to be really good at. So your team leader would be like, okay, Fellowship Maneuver, and the burglar would start it, or whoever could have started easily, and then everyone would cast their abilities real quick in combat with whatever you were doing. So you needed to make sure you knew where the target was so you could look at it, right, and be ready for it. So here we go. Let's cast this ability here. I'm going to go ahead and just make him fall asleep because he's moving a lot and it's annoying me. All right, good little snow lurker. All right, so I already have him targeted with my hunter, so it's easy for me to switch to it. So here we go. So I'm going to cast the ability here. See, I can't cast the yellow. I have to be up close. But the range can do yellow from range. Did you see the difference? All right, so now it died instantaneously, but it would have had a bleed on it because we did double yellow. And if you notice, it still showed the double green on the little assist thing because I didn't change the little assist thing as the leader. Okay, just now. So all this does under skills, not social, all this does under skills when you check these is just add that little helper to say, this is the Fellowship Maneuver I want you guys to do. So I could have added this yellow one so that these were up and people could have seen, oh, they want all yellows, so everyone go yellow, which is very easy. There's a lot of combos that are hard where it's like yellow, green, blue, red, right? Or one of these that are more complicated down here. And then it gets a little bit like this one, right? Or it gets a little more complicated with these multicolor ones, especially if you actually have like Eagle's area. That's one of the strong ones for 4 people. So again, not everybody in the Fellowship has to do it either. It's only 4, right? Now, realistically, too, you could have all 6 Fellowship members all use green. You could all do heal, but I don't know how much it adds to it after the first couple, right? I think up to 4 adds the most. Again, it says you can do combos, right? Right, Hail of Blade. So you can do up to 4 with the red. And it, you know, they kind of explain them a little bit here. So Fellowship 1, Fellowship Member 1, you know, Fellow 2, Fellow 3. They can do all these combos. They can do this one, this one, this one. I don't know why they're saying all or with the yellow. They're just, it's yellow, right? Where you could do some all red. Fellowship Member 4, right? Planned Charge, right? So you could do red, yellow, blue, blue. But again, the underneath bubbles mean we only have 2 people in the Fellowship, so we're not going to be actually able to complete that full combo, right? Again, I can't play more than 2 characters at once for the guide video. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, besides, it'd be really hard to switch between the characters and go boop, 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 as fast as I can in 5 seconds. So, but it's really cool. Fellowship Maneuvers are awesome. Again, so if you're ranged, no matter what, you'll always be able to, from that certain amount of range, be able to use green and blue, even if you're a melee class, okay? The green or blue one, which is the right, and the blue one on the left, right? With a ranged class, you can use them all from ranged. The red, yellow, blue, green, all the colors. I like to just use the colors, but it's like, you know, again, it's the eagle, the horse, spirit. You know, there's the different meanings to it, right? But again, I'll do it one more time so you can see it. So I'm going to open a Fellowship Maneuver, and I'm going to use, oh, and I killed the target. Zillix, you had one job, and it was to open a Fellowship Maneuver and not kill the target, my friend. Again, those Fellowship Maneuvers can just happen sometimes, just randomly, too. It's not always from an ability. Sometimes you do a really high-level crit, and you just get a chance, and you open a Fellowship Maneuver, and you're like, oh, what's this? Make sure you're targeted at looking at it, right? If you're ranged, it doesn't matter. You can use any ability from ranged, red, blue, green, whatever. If you're a melee and you want to use yellow or red, you got to run up to it to make sure you're in melee range. But if you could also toss on the blue or green, right? Which a lot of times in a raid, we'd make it where the ranged people would do the red and yellow one because they could reach it, and then other people, like a tank or something, could just turn around and use green or blue because it's ranged too. They wouldn't have to move up to the target to move a boss. So anyway, that's pretty much Fellowship Maneuvers in a nutshell. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot more complicated things you can do with it and stuff, and I really would love it if it's something very unique to LOTRO. I would love to see an update on this system. Maybe, who knows, maybe we'll get an update. Wouldn't it be funny if I made this video and a few months later they just updated it, like, just by chance? Or maybe this is the video. Yeah, Standing Stones, you want to update the Fellowship Maneuver system? I would love to see it at level 140 with way more combinations, maybe up to 6 combinations. Make it challenging but rewarding like it always has been, even in that same time frame. So anyway, it's super cool. Thank you for joining us today here. And yes, Zillix and Zollin say bye. Right? Oh, well, never mind. My character can't wave, apparently. Oh, there we go. Bye! Anyway, guys, thanks so much for your support. Thanks for watching the channel. And thank you, Skumley, for being a Royal Guard and supporting the channel. It means a lot. My Patreon, you guys are the best. Subscribe button's there if I earned it. Next episode will be up there in the top left, and Zollin also picked out my playlist over there, LOTRO Tale, where I do voiceovers in Lord of the Rings Online. And we do a lot of other Tolkien content on the channel, too. And you guys have a great day in Middle-earth. And I'll see you all in the next episode. So, Voice of the Rings, Baruch Kuzad, I menu, and stay happy, my friends. Hey, look. I just met a random person. We're just out here while we're doing fellowship maneuvers. A lot of people play this game, guys. It's a great game. He also looks awesome, and he has a shovel. Oh, look, another player. They're fellowship. Look at that. Anyway, and you can join Voice of the Rings, by the way, too. Little side note. All right, guys. See ya. We're on CrickHollow. The thing, Zollin, you were supposed to remind me to say that. Yes, if you want to join our kinship, we're on CrickHollow. See ya.